What's up? This is Alaric Ong, and today I'm here with Baron Hopgood, BK Hopgood, right? And he has built multiple 8-figure businesses before. Right now he's a real estate developer with over 5 million assets under management. And so today I'm here with him on the show. And welcome to the show, BK.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be on your show. How are you today?
I'm good. Maybe you can share more about your entrepreneurship journey. How do you get started in entrepreneurship? And then we can go on from there.
Absolutely. My humble beginnings started when I was 18, 19 years of age, shining shoes, which we call the professional term to be a boot blacker. Mm-hmm. And at that time, I had an opportunity to run my shoe shine stands and learn from some very influential individuals in our state and around the world, just due to the fact of their high impact influence. And in that era of me shining shoes, you know, I was able to pick up certain business acumens and parlay that and create a car wash and detail service and a janitorial company. We had a valet company at that time. And then we moved that and parlayed all of that experience to real estate and financing in the early 2000s. And we became a real estate lender on the commercial side and a home builder, and did quite well before the market turned. And so that's our journey. But we had a tremendous rise, I tell people, but then we had a horrific fall during the mortgage heyday. We got caught up in that. And also I got caught up on me, you know, making a lot of money. But I'm grateful to God that he allowed me to rebound. You know, we experienced some hardships during that time, became unethical in our business practices to try to maintain our lifestyle during that time, and pretty much had a horrific fall. But we picked ourselves back up. These last 10 plus years, we've been intentional about our comeback. And now we're still chopping away. We're still in real estate. We also have our hands in the legal cannabis space. We're a manufacturer of high quality hemp derived products, and been in that space now a little over 3 years, and been quite exciting. And so that's our entrepreneurial journey, from shining shoes all the way to a mortgage lender. A great fall, but an intentional comeback now where we are today.
So what do you mean by unethical things? Like what are some things that you did, if you don't mind sharing?
Well, our unethical practices, such as kickbacks, we did kickbacks where we gave over $3 million to investors, you know, not knowing that they wouldn't do their end, but coming to find out that we wasn't supposed to do that. And then on top of that, as the market turned, 2008, 2009, my lifestyle was still of high net worth, but the money wasn't all the way there. And so I did not know how to digress, pull back and pull the reins back. So I became unethical. I did some things to maintain a lifestyle, such as kiting and passing checks just to cover something, and hoping and trying to get money in to cover it. And it caught up with me, versus me just turning back the things that I had because I could no longer afford them. I didn't do that. And so being caught up in those unethical practices, I also like to tell people it was a way for the Lord to get my attention. And he got my attention. He allowed me to be corrected. And we've been intentional ever since with our comeback these last 10 years.
Awesome. And so what do you think about debt? Do you think that most entrepreneurs should take on debt and like to grow their business?
Well, I have a saying that debt is your friend, because debt eventually becomes asset if you work the debt correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Debt can literally be your friend if you know how to use debt. And so entrepreneurs use debt for the purpose of acquisitioning or acquiring to advance their business, whereas a normal consumer gets into debt for the purpose of a lifestyle or for adventure. And so in the life of an entrepreneur, we utilize debt to further advance our cause. And so as long as debt is worked correctly, debt becomes your friend, and then debt can become an asset. So what you borrow literally will allow you to acquire assets, and then the assets will be able to pay off the debt.
Mm-hmm. So right now in your own business, let's say for your CBD business, do you use a lot of debt to grow that business?
Well, you can't really use that in the CBD business, just due to the fact federally it's still not regulated for banking purposes, even though it's federally legal from the hemp side. And in many states in America, you have medicinal and recreational usage, but we still can't bank our monies. And so if you're not able to bank your money, then banks and lending institutions will not give you a loan. So really, the only way that you can finance the hemp industry is with private investors raising capital from there, or reinvesting the capital that you've made from acquisitions and sales back into the company.
So have you done that for your CBD business?
Absolutely. We had no other choice.
Okay. And roughly how much of debt are we talking about, if you don't mind sharing some numbers?
I mean, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, because we have 3 manufacturing and fulfillment centers that we own and we control, that house our manufacturing and distribution operations. And so to get those facilities up to par constituted, some investing or reinvesting the dollars that we made off of sales. And so we've invested quite a bit back into the business.
Cool. And what are your plans for your business?
Well, I mean, we're scaling it, we're growing it. We're projecting a great influx into different markets. We're looking to establish our flagship locations, retail locations in a couple of markets as well, and adding on distributors and enhancing and enlarging our competency to be an industry player in this particular space. And so we have big things planned for 2021, and we're anticipating them being fulfilled. COVID last year, knocked everybody off their post. And so a lot of things was delayed, even though we still functioned last year, but there was a lot of delay and a lot of halting. And so we're looking to kind of rebound and recapitulate for 2021.
Tell me more about the CBD industry. What kind of insights do you have about the industry?
Well, I mean, CBD is the primary compound in the industrial hemp plant. Okay, so there's plants in the cannabis family. You have the hemp plant, and then you have the sativa plant, and each one has a primary compound that has the dominant factor. And inside of the industrial hemp is CBD. There's literally over 100 cannabinoids, and that's all CBD is a cannabinoid, and the acronym for CBD stands for cannabinol. And so with over 100 cannabinoids inside both plants of the cannabis family, CBD is the most popular cannabinoid that the planet knows. Many, many healing effects, many health benefits and attributes that CBD brings to the body, which is powerful. And we're seeing those response come from our customers and clients every day concerning the products that we manufacture.
So do you feel that CBD should be legal because like over here, right over here in Singapore, CBD is illegal, right? and in a lot of countries it is still illegal. Do you feel that they should start legalizing this all over the world?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a plant. It's not a drug. It's not even a gateway drug. Okay. When the United States banned it and put it as a Schedule 1, it pretty much followed through with the UN, and every country that's connected to the UN created their concept against the plant just to really push other agendas. But absolutely, it needs to be reintroduced back into societies all over, because guess what? This is a plant and it's been around since the foundations of the world, and so it's not new. It just needs to be reintroduced.
So, so the CBD that you're talking about, it makes people high, or it's just something that just relaxes people? And yeah,
CBD doesn't get you high. CBD really mellows you out and begins to balance your life. You have an endocannabinoid system inside of you. I have an endocannabinoid system inside of me. And those CB1 and CB2 receptors are looking for the cannabis to bring certain balances to your life, to even out the stress and the anxiety that a person has, and even the inflammation, because CBD is anti-inflammatory. So it doesn't get you high. It actually gets you well, whole, and healed, I like to say. And we have the scientific data to show that. Those are clinical studies that have shown what and how CBD best affects an individual.
So they don't get high, they just get a little bit more relaxed. What about MCTs? MCT drug or something as well?
Well, MCT is a carrier agent. Carrier agent is nothing more than help to get the CBD or the cannabinoid into the bloodstream. So MCT oil is nothing more than coconut oil. So it doesn't get it, it's nothing more than what it is. It doesn't get anyone high. It's a carrier agent that helps to either break the skin or to carry the cannabinoid into the blood system or the bloodstream.
So what's your background? Like, do you have how do you know so much about this industry? Like, or how do you get started in this industry?
That's a very good question. I got into this industry because of my mother. Okay. My mother was diagnosed with neuropathy and Sloan's in 2008. And for literally over 10 years, she has suffered with this chronic illness. And her pain doctor recommended that she try a medicinal effect, an alternative, because it just became legal in 2008. And she called me, as she normally would do, and said, hey, the doctor said I need to try this. Well, with her being a Christian, she's never smoked or drink. And, her thing was, do I have to smoke marijuana to get healed? And so as we did our research, only to discover that the propaganda that has been behind this plant, the lies that have been behind this plant, and the banning of this plant, only to discover that this is a plant and it's not a drug. And it built the United States of America. Farmers were mandated to grow it. At the particular time in the 1930s, over 25,000 usages from this hemp plant. And so after we dug deeper to discover the many healing qualities, we went to find her a topical, because there was other ways to ingest and to use the plant without having to smoke it. And only to discover that once the topical hit her hands and feet, the pain began to reside. And so I told myself, as a 20+ year entrepreneur, I'm not going to enrich anyone else. Let me get into this space. Let me educate people about the power of this plant, reintroduce the power of this plant. And that's what we've been doing now for almost 4 years. We've been in this space, introducing it to the people, and the people have actually benefited from the products that we manufacture.
So what are some tips you would give any entrepreneur, okay? Like maybe 3 tips you'll give any entrepreneur, and then what are 3 tips that you'll give an entrepreneur that is in the CBD industry?
Now ask that question one more time.
Okay, what are 3 tips that you would give to any entrepreneur?
Now, when you say tricks or
tips, like tips and strategies, yeah.
All right, that's a good question. One important tip that I would give to any entrepreneur: you must have a foundation. You gotta have a base and a foundation that keeps you rooted and grounded and causes you to stay human. Because as entrepreneurs, a lot of times we get so busy that we fail to understand that we are human and our family still needs us. And we're so in a rat race of trying to make as much money as we possibly can that in the pursuit of the money, we miss the moment to just be normal and normalize our life. And that comes with a foundation. I prescribe the foundation of faith, having a faith and a belief system that you can defuse and re-energize and recharge your thoughts, that you might be prepared to be the best you the following day. I was in a room on Clubhouse, and there was some very high influencers on the stage that I was on. And I was listening to one who's very, very popular, and only to discover that his only antic was about getting this money. Didn't have any feelings or emotions, and it was very callous and cold. And I posed that question: where is your faith? Because if you gain the whole world and lose the insight of your soul, what have it profit you? And so, just from my experience and my testimony, going up high, and I was on that same rat race of profit. These last 10 years has been all about a balanced life. And so that is really a number one tip that I would give to any entrepreneur: get a foundation. Because when you get that foundation, I like to say this: you no longer have to chase money. Money will come and find you.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And what are some tips you would give to someone who's trying to go into the CBD industry?
Absolutely. If you're looking to get into this space, educate yourself continually, because we've been deprived of the information about this plant. And now that it's becoming readily available with the clinical studies and the scientific studies, the more you educate yourself about the plant and this space, the better you become in being an agent of it. Okay. If you're an entrepreneur, you know how to start a business. There's not going to be any difference. Supply, demand, logistics, create your corporation, create your business plan, and prepare to enter into the market. But this particular industry also calls for education, understanding the cannabinoids and the endocannabinoid system and the terpene profiles and the different strains that come, and then also the many usages that this plant can give. So educating yourself in this industry will cause you to always be further advanced.
Do you use any technology to make your plants grow faster? Like, some people, they put certain like humidity and, they like to give the best conditions for the plants to grow. Do you do any of that?
Well, we're not on the growth side. We're on the processing side.
Got it.
And we get the plant or the biomass from the grower, and then we begin to extract the oil from the biomass. So we're not on the growth side.
So do you have any technology that makes improves the yield that you get out of each plant?
Well, I mean, it's a normal process of extraction. Our CO2 extractor strips all of the terpene and the oil and the fatty acids and everything out of the plant. And we have several runs or pass-throughs to get the best perfection and also to get the desired yield that we're looking for. But technology has given us those particular machineries, and we use those machineries to get the best yield from our extraction.
Great. So if anyone wants to follow you, what are your social media handles, your Instagram, your Clubhouse? Yeah.
What's my handles? Well, on Instagram, it's Baron Hopgood. That's BaronHopgood. And then on Clubhouse, it's the same, the @ Baron Hopgood, BaronHopgood, with the, I guess they call it the nickname, BK Hopgood. And that's how they can follow me on those social media platforms.
Yeah, are you on Facebook and LinkedIn and all the other platforms as well?
We're on Facebook. We have a Twitter, same name handle, Baron Hopgood, BaronHopgood.
And if someone wants to know more about your CBD business, is there a website that they can go to?
Absolutely. They can go to www.ht-wellness.com. That's ht-wellness.com.
Thank you so much for being on the show. For those of you who like this video, make sure you like it, make sure you comment what you learned, and feel free to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and also share this with as many people as you know, share this with your friends, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you.